Hello and welcome to the instruction video of DRAWShader. My name is Mo and I'm the founder of VectorJedi.com, the site where this macro DRAWShader is also available. DRAWShader is a macro for CorelDRAW that is able to convert almost any object in CorelDRAW to a so-called DRAWShader object. In other words, that applies a Gaussian effect to the given object. The special thing about this task is the fact that the DRAWShader objects have changeable color properties and that the file size maintains small in terms of complexity. Long story short, I will demonstrate how DRAWShader works and what it does actually. So in the foreground of this picture we have a text object with a white color. And DRAWShader converts this text object into a DRAWShader object. It maintains the base color of the object, as we can see here, white, and it applies a Gaussian effect to the object. From now it is possible to change the color, for example, yellow or green or orange or black. So there are no limits to creativity in CorelDRAW anymore, and it is possible to produce such illustrations as the nice girl you can see here in the background. The functions of DRAWShader are very clear and simple, the same as the user interface, which I am going to describe in detail in the following steps. To improve the workflow in DRAWShader, the macro offers an inbuilt preview mode. So before it is possible to convert objects to DRAWShader objects, it is required to enter the preview mode. I'm going to demonstrate that. We select an object which we want to convert and press the button preview. What has happened? In the preview mode, the Gaussian effect was already applied, and from now we can adjust the value of the Gaussian effect interactively with the topmost slider. The slider changes the value of the applied blur, and due to the fact that the DRAWShader object is actually a bitmap, we probably need more flexibility in resolution, and that's why we have a drop down with different resolution presets here. So if we are working with a document that is going to be printed, we should select 300 dpi. If the illustration will be needed in web graphics, 72 dpi are sufficient. A very important thing to notice is that the resolution is linked to the applied Gaussian effect and its value. That's because the Gaussian effect is calculated absolutely and in pixels, so at 72 dpi the Gaussian effect is higher than at 300 dpi. If the Gaussian effect is applied, we have the choice to finish the task and press the button finish, in which case we exit the preview mode. Or we undo the action while we are in the preview mode by pressing the button undo. We have our base object back and can go further. Beside there is a button for global melt, but I'm going to explain this point at the end of this video. Additionally, DRAWShader offers some advanced power clip functions which will not work only with DRAWShader objects, but with almost any other object too. So at first there is the auto power clip function. That means you have to select the object, the position will be stored, and in a blink of your eye, DRAWShader searches for the closest object under the object meant to be power clipped. As a power clip container, we have only the red-orange background here, so we are going to power clip the white object into our background. This error message is caused by the fact that our red-orange background is not on the same layer as our white object. In this example, we have our white polygon on layer 2, and the red-orange background is on layer 1. If we put both on one layer, it will work perfectly. So as we can see, there is our power clip container, and there is the white polygon. This action can also be undone on the interface of DRAWShader if we press the button undo. In most cases, the auto power clip function is very reliable, but there might be situations where this automated function does not result in the desired results. This is the case when the document consists of many nested and complex objects. But if you don't trust the auto power clip function, you can power clip manually, and for this task we select the white object again, press the button select, and there appears a crosshair cursor which helps to select the power clip container manually. So the white object will be power clipped with the same position as before. In the case you have done this action accidentally, you can discard this action by pressing the button escape, or by simply waiting 10 seconds, and the object will be placed where it has been before. Beyond the obvious functions, DRAWShader offers some hidden features which shall make life easier. So at first we have the handling of transparencies, and the special thing about it is that DRAWShader takes the transparency and copies it from the root object to the DRAWShader object. That means if we have an object, in this example, with a transparency in the subtraction mode and convert it to a DRAWShader object, excuse me, that was a bit too much, we don't want to make it invisible, then this transparency will be copied to the final DRAWShader object. We'll take a look again. So the transparency is still in subtraction mode. I have to mention the transparency will not be copied in one case, namely in the case when the transparency has no or default normal mode, because this mode will be used by DRAWShader to calculate the fade of the blur effect. The next important case is any situation where we have a bitmap which we want to convert to a DRAWShader object, because bitmaps can also be converted into DRAWShader objects with Gaussian blur effects. But to calculate the DRAWShader object, not the colors will be taken into account, rather the lightness values. It would not be possible to convert all the colors of the bitmap. So, as I said, only the values between dark and light will be extracted and calculated. We're going to enter the preview mode. Oops, this was a bit too fuzzy. I'll pull the value down a bit. Then we can see the result clearer. So now the dark values are opaque and the light values of the bitmap are transparent. I've hidden a red rectangle behind the bitmap so you can see light areas are transparent and the dark areas are black. And now we can change the color properties of this DRAWShader object. So to demonstrate what is black here, we will change to green by applying green as outline color, and the background we will change to yellow by selecting a fill color, or red, or blue, or black. A special note to the handling of groups. The object at the top is an interactive blend group containing 7 objects from white to green. It'll be shortly explained how DRAWShader handles this group. Every object in CorelDRAW that is a group shape will be treated as one object by DRAWShader, and the object lying topmost in this group controls how DRAWShader renders the color of the final DRAWShader object. But in this case we don't want to work with an interactive blend group, so I am going to break this group, undo the group task, and group all together. And now we have a group, a normal group containing 7 objects. As you can see, green is now the primary color of a DRAWShader object, because the green object was topmost in the previous group. Another thing is handling with selections, because selections are actually not groups or treated as groups. And the special thing here is that each individual object in the selection will be converted to a single DRAWShader object. And as you can see here, this is now a selection of 7 objects, and DRAWShader now converts each object to a single DRAWShader bitmap that maintains the color of its root object. Perhaps I should undo this action and do that with a higher value. So now you can see the result. Every object was converted separately. Even the power clip function acts surprisingly when it is used with groups. If we select this white object, we are able to power clip it into the whole group. It does not only work with normal groups, but also works with interactive blend groups. In this case, you should select the topmost or the last shape to get the power clip function properly working. Let's drag the white object over the power clip container. Manual selection. We'll select the first shape in this group, in this case the blue rectangle, and voila! Now we've power clipped our white object into every single instance of the blend group. All these functions were made to speed up the workflow and to make life easier with DRAWShader, but I have to mention the export abilities of DRAWShader at this point. So now I'm going to explain the center button on the DRAWShader user interface, the global melt button. Let me explain this function with the illustration on the first page as example. This illustration is a construction of many power clips which contain DRAWShader objects. I will show this in a close-up, the face for example. If we want to export this illustration, we will use the global melt function before, and DRAWShader searches through all selected objects for power clips and looks into the power clip container if there are any DRAWShader objects in there, and creates a new bitmap inside the power clip container with the fill color of the power clip as base color, and melts all DRAWShader bitmaps to the background bitmap. Let me show that. These objects are DRAWShader objects in this power clip container. I close the power clip edit mode and select some shapes. In this case, I'm going to select everything. DRAWShader shall look into each object if there are DRAWShader objects inside. Then we will press the global melt function, the global melt button. It may take some time because every object will be proved and finished. And if we take a closer look into the power clip container, and we'll see that in every power clip there is a bitmap, a single bitmap with all the DRAWShader objects melt to it. So that was everything. We're getting close to the end of this instruction video. I thank you for watching. I wish you a lot of fun with DRAWShader. Thank you. Till then, bye bye.